Hi, everybody. Nick Blazier back here with the round of 4 in the second chance bracket, the semifinals here at the Backgammon World Championship in Monte Carlo. And we're about to get kicked off with Zdeněk Ziska and Hans Liebe. Really strong matchup here. Zdeněk Ziska, of course, in all the UBC terms, a finalist this year and the UBC contender. Hans Liebe was a semifinalist, I believe, in the first UBC event in Gibraltar. So another very strong player. Lots of those like Grandmaster level players left in the field. Tough matchup for both of them. We'll see how they fare. We got to see Zdeněk take out Wilcox in the last game with a couple, outside cube decisions that worked out for him, but that's how the game goes. If you make bold plays like that, sometimes you're rewarded. That aggression can win you a match in one game. Tough loss for Wilcox. Let's see if he can continue his run and vlog luck against Hans Liebe here. Hans Liebe, I haven't looked at his path through the bracket. I think he's taken out some tough names, though, for sure. Lawrence Powell in the last round. Who else we got? He's the one that knocked out Ryan Rebello before that. And it looks like Dimitri in the last round. Certainly no easy path here. Maybe he was alive in the main bracket before then. But yeah, it should be a really exciting matchup. We'll work through this to figure out who your two finalists for the second chance will be. And from there, we'll be moving on to the finals tonight at 10 p.m. to determine who will challenge Sander in the finals tomorrow at 3 p.m. CEST is the time zone here? Okay. I didn't know the name of it before. Think we're getting the transcriber involved, players, Zdeněk walking in the room. Wilcox mentioning that he felt like he was sensing just a little bit of nerves out of Zdeněk being in a really big spot for him. You know, I don't have the sheet here anymore. I think they should be in the money at this point, so that's a little bit of the tension off. But of course, everyone wants to win out all the way to the end, you know. So probably hasn't been in many spots this big before. We'll see how he deals with the pressure, if he can clean up a little bit after some small mistakes in the last match. But, you know, not many decisions, easy for one mistake. Same sort of stuff that he's been playing all over the place and or in all these other matches, and just wasn't balanced out by the length of a 17-point match and all the other good decisions he tends to make. Maybe we'll see the other side here. Don't remember any tendencies or anything like that from Hans Liebe, but just generally a very strong player. Hi, Steve Wood in the chat there. Playing on that Monte Carlo Grand Prix board, which is available in the Galaxy web shop, and using that nice Backgammon World Championship inlay that we got in very recently. Looking gorgeous. And a 5-1 to open for Hans. Two 5 split. Hi there. Yep. We got one ZZ fan in the chat so far. Okay. And one Hans fan. Balanced. That's nice. 5-2 after the 5-2 split. Going to hit 2. Zdeněk going to enter both. 4-2. Going to make a point. 5-3 looking like he can make the anchor pass now. Of course, option to make a board point, but this is the stronger point between the two, and even more value when your opponent's made the 4-point behind it. And Hans's only option is to have an anchor of his own, a little deeper than he'd like, but just fine against those stacks of 5 with very little priming value so far. Denyek's going to need to leave a shot somewhere, and look at that. Just instantly looks at the double slot with the better... Oh, no, it doesn't have the better board, though, but a blot behind is a little bit of incentive. 13 to 11 covers the 6 to 5 nice, but decides to leave only indirects, very close stuff. 3-2 going to cover the ace and remove that liability. 4-1 is gonna, yeah, now that we have the anchor, we don't need the midpoint quite as much. Quick transcriber pause, saw 3-3, actually a 3-2, okay, yeah. 4-1 seems like making the 9-point would be the thing. Finds that play easily. Everything else is throwing checkers behind or not getting closer to home. Just in time to block the double sixes. And I think we need the midpoint link to our 22 with this little timing. And Hans under a lot of pressure to leave that 22 as soon as possible. Not a great roll for Zdeněk. Would love to make some sort of board point to be ready for this contact. Instead, stuck either stacking up on the 6 or playing behind to the ace. Either way, not going to be particularly prepared to attack. Tactically thinking about stacking up the 6 so that he can point on head or something like this, or hit without the liability of the checker on the ace. But staying on the 11 is going to give him a little more diversification for making a nice board point or bar point if Hans is not able to escape, or if he is, either way. How much to compete in the intermediate comp? I'm not sure, but I think if you go to the Backgammon World Championship like webpage, might have entry fees and things like that on it. Just playing the World Championship, though. Don't you want to be the World Champion? 4-2. Sees that he really needs to get moving with the back checkers and should actually step up with both. Not so threatening with his 4-point board against Zdeněk's 1-point board and blot behind to step up to the 20 as well. Not sure if he... Not much difference here. Looks like we'll be making 2 board points and would have been plenty on head either way. So what he gets out of it is the progress of 6 to 4, where he'd actually prefer to have his spare on the 6, so loses a little ground after this roll. Interesting that he's thinking about just cleaning up the blot with the blot back on the ace. Leave some returns against a 4-point board. Very close, according to XG. Surprising to me, it seems just way too valuable to make 2 board points to pass that up. The plays are close. And Hans can get checker out of harm's way, so he's going to do that. Zdeněk's going to think about what threats he has, what happens when he points on head, and decide to roll on with such a big deficit in the race. 4-2, I think, is just going to clean up. It's tough to hit loose when we're leaving 2 blots in board against a 4-point board. We're sad when our opponent escapes, but we still have an anchor game and haven't lost when it goes that way. Decides that the 11 to 9 is going to be part of it either way, and now he's going to decide whether he wants to make a loose hit or not. I'll work on getting that book out. Was just talking to Michi, and it does sound like he's going to have a book on the subject too coming out. Something he wrote in Japanese maybe like 15 years ago, quite a while or something, and he just needs to translate it. You'll have all kinds of match play resources in the near future. Really having trouble just giving full freedom to Hans to maybe escape with a 6. Not necessarily a favorite to do so, though. But feeling the pressure of not letting him have the simple game plan and wants to hit loose as a result. Thinking about the different ways that can go. We'll see if he finds, okay, looking at buttoning up again and relying on his prime for one roll. Relying on the anchor when he does escape. I think it's the hardest to choose between them. Michi and I were actually looking at a play together before this too. When you're an underdog either way, it gets very difficult to choose, I think. Just feels strange to make to make a losing play, right? You want to find something that's going to give you an advantage. And look at this. He should actually stay in the outfield to contain and make another board point. Have the 5-point board for the impending attack here. This is a small opportunity there. Wow, 8-2 makes sense to me. This 3-1, I'm not sure. I guess he just... That's a hard find. Just spots it immediately, though. More covers, of course. Han's thinking about if he has a racing double now on the strength of escaping with the 6. But the problem with this, he might lose his market after doing so, but he's not going to lose it by so much. And so one key thing to think about with market losers is like the degree of them. If you get to an efficient cube, then it's not bad. Losing your market right on the cusp is okay. You're not so sad to have done that. Just when you lose it by a lot and lose out on gammon potential that you get in trouble. And with the racing lead, Zdeněk does have a bit of a problem. Snap takes it. Okay, knows what's going on in this position. Didn't expect any blunder there, but thinks about it a little bit. 5-1 is going to clear points. 5-6 looks like it makes 2 points. But it has to attack. Wow, that's a hard one to find. And it can double Falcon as well. But the thing about this, when you're down so much in the race, you like to keep the contact. This is a freedom play if it's really going to help you contain. But what it does is just gives up to 6-4 and 6-5 immediately. And you're not even ready to hit in the outfield either with your board not made. So when your opponent does leave, you're really happy to have that anchor to still challenge the 9-point to clear safely. So yeah, I don't think giving up the anchor is the idea. This is the play that I would find, but I'm surprised to see that it's an even bigger mistake. That we really just are under so much pressure to take a tempo away and keep our opponent from escaping so easily that we need to hit and leave the double board block. That's a difficult bind against a 4-point board for sure. But down enough in the race that makes some sense. Our opponent's going to have trouble closing the 3 anyway. Interesting play. We'll see if he starts to consider it at some point. Going to switch to clearing the 8 again. And going to make a mistake in not having considered even the top play. Tough thing to happen there. All right, looking like Hans is on 6-4 and 5-5 right now. Does he want to advance to 3s, 5-4, 6-3? Or shuffle something behind? He already connects to the 9-point pretty efficiently, so he has a lot of nice rolls to clean up the blot. So I think staying out of shot range makes the most sense, reducing for 1 roll. Would the bot play classify as a double tiger? Usually you get 2 on the roof too, don't you? I don't know. Call that if we want to. Hi, everybody showing up in chat here. Thanks for joining us. And what does he ends up reducing blots, but 2-1. Okay, a little better racing distribution to play 4-3. Zdeněk just clears another point and waits for contact. Our 5 is fairly forced to not leave a direct, but our 2, we can stop wasting checkers inside the board. Close decision there. 6-5, gonna zoom right past. All the gammons are saved. The contact's still pretty good for Zdeněk. So not too bad to play a single checker anchor game here. Almost a safety for Hans. I think he's going to be forced to leave a direct no matter what, so he might as well hit now. Contact favoring Zdeněk. So pretty nice roll for ZZ here. And hits from the roof. Straight out for covers. And just needs to dodge a 4 to win this game. I don't think it's going to be one that he wants to play on if he gets so lucky. Not a whole lot of gammons with only 6 pips outside. Yeah, talking about that, I don't know, whatever, the double tiger, the attack and cover play. I'm not sure how easy or difficult that one is to look at or find, but surprised to see Zdeněk not even consider it, actually. I think it didn't seem to show up on his radar was the main issue with that mistake. And it's not one that jumps out at us intuitively necessarily. But look at this. He is too good. Okay, I assumed that it was going to be worth claiming. He can lift with the 2. I guess maybe everything covers or lifts or something like this. 6s doesn't. Ooh, 6s is a disaster. Takes a roll. I would have thought to claim it for how close it's going. How's Sanders' hangover? I saw him sitting out by the pool with Benjamin Lund. He looked okay. Didn't get to chat with him. And now he's going to claim. Okay. Seemed like the likely outcome. Didn't recube last roll because it was too good. I'm surprised. I'm surprised to see that. I would have thought to as well. (6-4) going to hit in the outfield. Nice start again for Zdeněk. Yeah, slightly too good. 3-1 going to make a nice advanced anchor. Good entry for Hans. Two ones going to hit for sure, and then any ace. Yeah, 13-10 for building. We really hate stepping up 24-23. Guess it might eventually pressure the 8 point away here. Makes the 9 point in front of the anchor and steps up. Pretty nice shot for Zdeněk. 3-2. Is this going to be required to hit twice? Looks pretty strong. This looks like a nice double tiger play. We make this really often. The easiest ones to find are when our opponent sits on the 21 and 20 like this. If we only hit one, they're so likely to either hit us or make an anchor that it's a little nicer to just hit both and go for the upside. Maybe we're the one that gets one of these points. Wow, works fantastically. And likely to make one of those points, but still 3 checkers behind quite a bit of structure, so I don't think we have a cube quite yet. Makes the rack on a fan. We do have quite a bit of pressure here. 3 in. This is looking scary for ZZ. A lot of gammons in this position now. Still shy of a cube, though, with all the work we have to do, and only 8.5 in the zone, I'll call it. With that checker not 6 away. 5-2 hits. Always one roll away from a cube, or one sequence, I think. This is looking better. Likely to have the 4 point board, and skates past the small cube there. Gonna hit with the ace. 5 down for another attacker in the zone. Once again, Zdeněk better perform, or he's gonna be out of this game. A fan, I think it's worth claiming. Doesn't feel too good to me with 3 checkers back. We got a lot of work to do. We might not cover. Only 11 in the zone. Yeah, clear double, clear take. Still a third of the time that Zdeněk can win. Is Galaxy going to run next year's World Championship? As far as I know, yeah.
The Backgammon Galaxy mobile app. Star membership, high analysis, blunder database, private games, coin games, rating games, and much, much more.
Sweet, loving those little ads. Check out the Galaxy app in the App Store if you're on Apple products. Coming to Android soon. After 4-3 down, I would think 2 down as well, but interesting that splitting is exactly tied. 5-2 going to make a point. That 2 split is nice against the 4-3 down, though. Then I guess I remember seeing the 5-2 splits against it as well. 6-3 hits in the outfielder, makes the 5 point. What a dilemma. Against the better board, does that mean anything? It's the wrong spare, so it gives us a little less reason to make the 5. More likely to make it with a 3-1 or 6-1. 6-3 makes a bid at being ahead in checkers back in the race. I don't think we have a slightly better board after making the 5 point, but doesn't feel as clear of an advantage. So I like the hit. Both plays ran really close. Hitting does seem very natural. Agree with Thomas in the chat there. 5-2. What can this do? This can make 2 points. Sure. We were hoping to hit. I guess he's going to look for a while to see if there's some way to do that. But after he says he can't, 10 and 11 looks very nice. Double twos likely needs to make an anchor. Best two is to come down and contain the blot back. Okay, found that play with ease. Not sure what we're trying to do with the checker on the 23 yet, so I might have thought about that a little bit. 6-2 probably just makes a bit at escaping, right? Oh wow, very close to just make a board point and challenge our opponent to leave their anchor instead too. I would have thought to just go. Nice find by Hans, though. Why are they playing so fast? Because they're really smart. And they know all the answers, and they don't have to think about it like us. It could be a symptom. I think I do start to play a little bit faster by the end of the weekend, too. I'm not sure how to explain it exactly. There's an adrenaline aspect for sure. Everyone's been running pretty high on nerves for a whole bunch of days in a row. And, so when people like Wilcox talk about calming breathing exercises and things like this, like that's a serious aspect to keep yourself from playing too fast, to be sure. You kind of get in this rhythm and you feel like you just know what the right play is and you just make it instantly. But really what's going on is you're tired and you're not thinking as hard. Very common late in a tournament. What's the best six with this? Everything's destructive. Of course, we love hitting. Can't play from the 23 like we'd like to. So are we going to slot the 2? Probably not, but slotting the 3 would be better to keep one less blot. Breaking the mid creates 2 new blots, but we do have the bar point, so it's a little okay to let it go. And just seems like the distribution is best. No directs that we're giving this way either. So not even clear to me that it reduces shots, but good find from from Zdeněk. Tempo hit to prevent him from improving, but comes in with double fives, which should make the ace and some sort of save 5. 18 to 13 is really surprising me. I probably would think just 13 to 8, but we're a little bit bunched up and out of time, so we'd rather have the mid here than the anchor, it would seem. And Zdeněk understands this about this position too, playing really well today so far. Oh, my response was interrupted. Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, Galaxy is going to be working with the World Championships as well. Who knows what that'll look like. I think there's, yeah, I don't know. Definitely wanted to get one under their belts before they thought about any like improvements or changes they might like to make. What would you guys like to see different? 9 away, 10 away. We have a blitzing position. Typical 5s with 3 extra checkers in the zone. Our opponent is giving our back checkers a lot more trouble leaving, but hasn't improved their board. Only 1 back, which is a weakness for the blitzing side. This is a bit of a surprise to me that it's so takeable. It looks like usually this will be a winning race for Zdeněk. And other times it's going to be a gammon when he improves his position. No spare on the 6 is a little bit strange, but this looks really nice for Zdeněk. Really scary for Hans with no board points and a blot back on the deuce. And so in order to find this take, he needs to, I guess, figure out how much value there is in this 11 and 10 point. Not as, I mean, very high on the equity side that take decision. But I find that to be a very difficult take to find practically over the board. Not sure how many people in chat are seeing that one. Not a surprising mistake to me. Oh, you guys want to see more clarifications about how the tournament works? Yeah. Yeah, that's a cool piece of feedback for sure. Feedback maybe I've been like giving too. Maybe I can help with that. We'll see. Four, 2. I think we have to clean up a blot. Best we can do. Only 2 checkers back to our opponent's 3. We'd love to find somewhere to hit to prevent them from making a nice inner board point. No can do. 5-3, that's tough. I'm tempted to make the point. I did not notice the double hit. That looks pretty nice. There's not a whole lot of value of... I find the top play of hitting and coming out pretty difficult. I guess it... What is there? Some duplication or something like this? Plays down? Wow, all these plays run really close. But it seems just very strange here to hit loose rather than making some point, even if it's the 3-point. Guess we hate it when our opponent is split past that 3-point and anchors anyway. Covers and makes the anchor. Looks really nice. Oh, it could switch, but I mean, 24-20 just seems so strong. Probably 24-22 with it. Oh, we should go 6-4. I never find these dillied builder on the 4-point kind of plays. They're bizarre to me. I'd have a much easier time playing 8-6. Oh, and he's going to look at covering and hitting here. Okay, I hadn't considered this option. Sizable mistake when we can... we give up an asset to hit, which, I mean, the hit is nice. But we give up the mid and an anchor by doing so. It's a little bit too much better to play some other way. Wow, no comments on the take pass decision by Hans. Very big equity mistake, but a very tough one to find, I think. Find that one fascinating. Both players might be quite surprised to see that. I'll wonder if Zdeněk thought he was sending a takeable cube as well or not. He thought he was closer to the borderline. Yeah, publishing all the draws and results and stuff. We've been doing a lot of that on the Galaxy, on the World Championship Facebook page. If you go check there, we're organizing something pretty special for the finals tomorrow. I think that'll come through in line with what you're talking about there. And as we figure all that out, hopefully we can keep like planning it better and better. And I've been trying to do Facebook Live video updates when I can find them too. This is an interesting one. I guess he covers the bar and splits. We really need to make an anchor, get some outfield presence. This, wow, the slot is right in there. Not something I'm looking for at all. Very strange play. I guess when it works, we make a huge improvement in having a 5' there. But I'm so afraid to have given up my midpoint and not have an anchor or anything like this that I wouldn't even be considering the offensive side. 3-4 is going to enter an anchor. Not a bad shot at all. I think we want the better anchor, though. I think we want to enter on the 22 and make the 20. Why is Zdeněk and not Zdeněk or Zdeněk? Because that's how he pronounces it. He taught me. I know now. Official Czech speaker. He pronounces it Zdeněk. I think the Z and D are like one letter. I don't know. I do my best. I try to pronounce it how people pronounce it. I'm not good at it. Sixes turning this game around. Really big shot. 5-4. Gonna hop out and make a bid for freedom when he's down in the race. Yeah, he just can't afford to be attacked on the 5-point there, but a little sketchy. I guess it covers the outfield when our opponent jumps out with some indirects as well. Nothing else to play, and only a 5-pip lead with another checker to escape still. Doesn't feel like quite enough, but we're getting pretty close, and Hans is gonna have to pause to think about this one. Definitely not a standard-looking position with his midpoint swapped for the 14. Lots of very little tweaks there. So he has 5s and 1s to hit, but are the 5s and 1s clear market losers when you still have a checker back? The 5s will give up outfield control. Snap take for Zdeněk. For ZZ. 3s, no such luck. We can't escape with it either. Maybe we step up once, but it's blocked by 6s. Yeah, just making the board seems pretty strong. But 24-21 is part of the best play. I would have also thought about 10-7. I'm not sure why we leave the shot here. Turning around the race is pretty impactful, and we really don't want that to happen. Double fours is going to get the safety for Zdenek, and big improvement to his position. Going to make the 4 as well. And feeling really good sitting on this cube now with a small lead. Hans's style is aggressive. I like it. Is that like a rounder is very aggressive? Six four looks like the best we can do is make the 2. Would rather make a priming point out of the 5 or the bar point. An improvement nonetheless, and with a small racing lead now too. Zdenek sitting on a very potent cube. 5-2 seems to pretty naturally make the 2 point, but very interesting. He can just make it from the 7 and then step up and have a bunch of like a little more pressure on escaping while he has the 5-point board. Few more numbers to get free that way. 6-2 links up. 6-5 or yeah, 6-5 gets all the way free. 2-2, 4-4 get to where they need to be instead of being blocked. And he sees the tactical opportunity. Okay. I mean, of course, that's a good way to look at it, is that 7-2 is sure. And then what do we want to do with our deuce? Feels nice to have the 6 prime to me. That was my first instinct. But yeah, few more escaping numbers. When even though we're down in the race slightly, our best game plan is to race and to escape. We just have a little bit of work to do that. And stepping up to the 22 is going to help that the most. There was a 24-18 last play that we missed. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't have seen that one either. 24-18. I'm not sure when that play would have been. 2-1. Simple for Zdenek. Just down from the mid. Keep making Hans do the work to escape. 5-1, no good. No closer. Zdenek still needs to do a little more work against this board advantage to get a cube involved here. Yeah, I think we're continuing to make plays, like not volunteering direct shots. Got to respect the 5-point board, so it is quite tempting to leave nothing with 10-4, 6-2. And that is indeed the play. Okay. Other options are like to break the 8 or leave a fly shot on the 10 for a little better distribution. But wisely just tries to bring this home, and the 6-4 links up. Super glad he stayed on the 24 after that play, or after that shot. Has to count the race quick, but I think should decide quickly here that playing a contact game from the ace can never really help you that much. I think even if we were down a little bit here, we would want to escape for the risk of 5-3, 5-1, 3-1 combos pointing on head. And yeah, leading score, okay, it's going to take a little bit of work for Zdenek to get into cash. Good point there. Forgot his recube's going to have to come in a lot later. Double 5s is going to fix a lot of that. 12 pip lead, still not going to be enough to send a cube next roll, almost no matter what. 2-1, still only 9 pips. But we're getting there. Zdenek, I think, is going to pause to think now. And he should have a normal money redouble and a close pass almost. And so we're seeing that being on the pass borderline is enough to just barely send it at this score. So a little bit off on my assessment for last roll. The worst 2-1 is indeed enough to send a cube here, right on the border. Yeah, always run the last back checker. I think that's Pottle's law. I finally met Sam Pottle in Madison. I didn't know who he was or that he had a law until I found that out. Always run the last back checker. Pottle's law. Yeah, the 9 pips looks like, well, a little bit of wasted for Zdenek too, so that's actually going to put him a little bit more shy of a double. But I was thinking the 9 pips in a 78 pip race should be right on the take pass borderline. Enough to take generally. Less adjustments push us further, but I think adjustments favor Hans. Can't fight the law. Okay. Why advertise for the Android app when it's not in the store? I don't know. Maybe they made that ad before they realized it was out. It will be in the store. People will watch this in a week, and hopefully they'll feel encouraged to download the app at the time. Zeniak finds the cube. Hans finds the take. Good action on both sides. Double sixes. Crushing roll. Okay. Zeniak's got a new plan. Get high cubes in there. Roll well. Skate through these matches. Worked well against Wilcox for sure. Yeah, 3 crossovers seems like the idea to me. 12 to 6 would have guessed there, but okay. 11 to 5, a little bit better for distribution. Fine, fine. And Hans needs to do quite a bit to catch up and get back in this race. 3s, not bad. 2 sets in a row is making progress, but still quite a bit behind Zdeniak's double sixes. Double 2s, okay. That's going to nearly settle it. Very likely to go to 4-away, 10-away now in short order. Cool, we got mind control people back. Excellent. Oh, if you haven't watched the stream from last night, I think Wilcox and Sander talk a bit about Vernon Ball in his book. And check that out. I think they paused the match to have a discussion about it. Alpha backgammon indeed. 6-4, 2 off. Ooh, 5s is going to do a little bit of work and give Zeniak a sweat. Still on the same roll, no messes yet. First ace is okay for Zeniak. Okay, closes it out with double 6s. Not enough.
The Backgammon Galaxy mobile app. Star membership.
And on we go to 4-away, 10-away. Book title of the... I think it's called Alpha Backgammon? Yeah, it's up above if you're talking about the Vernon Ball book. 4-4, going to make standard 20 and 9 play. Most second rolls are going to do this. 4-2, going to make an anchor. Very nice shot. Challenge Denyak to hit the blot with a 6. And will he go for it here? Just keep the anchor and keep it simple. Consolidates a racing lead, so worth going here against just a 1-point board. No extra ammunition in the zone. 4 in, we don't want to introduce another blot, and the distribution of 13 to 8 looks pretty nice. And Zdeniak looking to link up with that checker on the 14. Does so with a 5-1 very nicely. Yeah, it was a pretty short match, and those were roughly the PRs, Christian. 5-3 points and waits for more contact. Seems logical down in the race. 5-4 can point on head, but we're looking to just consolidate a race lead. Is there an easier way to do that? And very interesting. It feels hard to pass up. It's a lot of shots to leave. But sure enough, he's going to find the simple racing play. At a leading score this far ahead in the match, too, I think a little more emphasis on plays like this, so that could be a factor here. Hans quickly going to try to improve his board. Zdeniak looking for natural ways to improve his as well, and the 3-1's going to do so. 4-3, are we under enough pressure to start thinking about lifting the anchor? It looks like we are. Very close to just start working on your board here, too. If we cover 8-5, I guess we're going to play 8-4 to start the next point as well. But 21-18 to take away the blitzing game plan from our opponent is finally important now that Zeniak's made a point. Modern Backgammon by Roberti. I've got a copy. I'm not sure if he's still selling it through Gammon Press or whatever that publisher is. Oh, the rule of law of always run the last checker, it's Pottle's law, so it's just a rule of thumb, like Christian is saying. Chooses to work on building his board instead, very understandable. 6-4. Are we still playing quiet, or do we need to take some sort of opportunity to break contacts? This seems like the logical move to me. Just settling on the race, playing quiet, waiting for some roll to free ourselves more effectively. Interesting with the 3 bots behind that he's got an opportunity now to play out 21 to 15. He's going to miss that and build his board. Small mistake that little efficiency that he misses out on. 1-5, I think, is just going to clear the point. We're not going to get tricked into hitting with 3 blots behind. Just keeping things simple. 3-2 going to make a point and probably come down, but can stay for contact. Maybe it's not so nice to step up to the 18 anymore when your board's so much better. And he does find the bold play now. Steniak got to think about whether or not he has a racing cube here. Not quite enough with 9 pips. Double 4s is going to get him there, though. Yeah, I think it's all coming off the mid and just focusing on racing. And barring some sort of amazing performance from Hans with the dice here, I think we'll have a cube. And probably not even takeable for the race. Yeah, 14 pips is enough. We have an anchor in the way, but it's not going to generate enough contact for this to be much different than a race at all, so even at the score, it's a double and a pass. It looks like the 4-way actually helps it a little bit, too. The numbers look like it could be takeable or close to it for money. 103, not the biggest pass, but not really adjusting too far for money play there. New backgammon book's coming out soon. I don't know how soon mine's coming out, but I wrote it. I'm excited about that. We'll see how the publishing side goes on match play adjustment and keeping it simple, trying to figure out how matches work without take points and things like that. And then I know Mark's working on the final stages of a write-up of the masterclass he and Mochi put on in Marbella a while back at UBC. So that's all written and just has to go through the same publishing stages that I do. So we'll see. Subject to Galaxy free time and publishing schedules there. What is my book called? I don't know if I have a good title for it. Match Play Made Simple, something like this. Tell me what it should be called. It's about cube strategy and how to adjust at the craziest scores, recubes, and some DMP, gammon go, gammon save principles. But all pretty basic and like the most strategic adjustments. And I try to leave out some of the more like specific borderline kind of cases and adjustments like that. Just the big things that you need to know. So I talk about some post-Crawford stuff too and try to keep that to the easiest solutions as well. So like instead of talking about how we can adjust to the trick, Walter Trice's trick. I don't know, just take some simpler heuristics like that. Drinking for Success by Sander Lylop. I like that. Do I have the unicorn on the cover? Not yet, but that's a hell of an idea. I'll have to talk to Wilson about that. I think he's the one that does the Galaxy book covers. Cube to kill. Okay, Nick's tricks. I like it. Coffee and cubes. These are all good. They're very good. Double 4s. What a great shot after making opening with the 4-point. Gonna anchor right past it. Six 5 escapes. Not a bad shot either. Think probably a small advantage for Hans though here. And 3-5, great fly shot from ZZ. 3 away, 10 away. Gonna struggle to find cubes unless we get into a really resolved game, but we're approaching something like that. Simple anchor holding game with full freedom and decent race lead. Just needs to get to something that feels like it could be passable for money, I think, and then he'll be happy to send over a cube and get himself to 2 away. Still a lot of work to do to clear this midpoint, though. 13-4, going to improve the board, and Hans happy to sit on the goalkeeper for now. Probably longer than usual at the score as well. At some point, we usually like to step up to avoid gammons and giving our opponent opportunities to spend those spares on the 6 and the 4 efficiently if he makes a better board point. But for now, I think the extra wins that the contact generates are going to be worth more. We'll see, though. Is he ready to go on a 4 yet? I don't think so. I think we're just covering 2 points here, of course. Five one, gonna play down. Yeah, simple. Not too much aimed at that ace yet, so I don't think that 4 is thinking about stepping up. We'll see. He's out of time to do much else, though. So maybe he will want to just find freedom with a checker that needs to do some work. Is this going to release the midpoint or start to play impure in our board? These are always quite the dilemma. Is Deniak so far from leaving a shot on the midpoint, though, that I think it feels like a nice time to just release contact there and keep a little more pure instead. Backgammon without tears. Interesting. Okay. I called my lecture match play without take points. I don't know. It's a bit dry for a title. 5-2. Nice to have a spare on the 6. Great shot for him. Next 5-2 is pretty threatening. 6-5. Starting 2 points or 11-5 in. Interesting. Okay. Thought about 2 and 1 here. Both very close. Distribution of 11-5 is a little nicer, I suppose, but I hate slotting the ace before I slot the deuce. So they all run pretty close. Berconi up 7-1 in the other semi. Okay. Yeah, check in on stream 2 to catch what's going on the other side of the bracket here for sure. Not familiar with Berconi. It'll be nice to see him on stream if he gets here. Yeah, 8-2 makes a lot of sense. If you play 8-2, then you really hate the killing your 6s and stacking up the 6 point for distribution. So the 6-1 feels pretty natural with that, but he's going to take some time to think about it. It also does feel a little strange to play to the ace. All right, only ahead 9 pips. Ooh, this is a killer for ZZ. All down, going to do our best to clear for the race. Has a little work to do to clear the goalkeeper, but I think is going to have a reasonable... He's going to have to think about the cube. 8 and cover the ace seems pretty nice. Does he have enough here, though? I guess he's still got an awkward time bringing this home. I mean, has the race necessary, but Hans has a pretty perfect-looking board. Contact looking pretty strong with that goalkeeper. Ooh, this is tough. Not so many gammons here either, I don't think. It's hard to assess just how awkward our distribution is. Deniak nails this one, realizes he only has 68. Bit surprising that the race is so bad. So many shot levers, though. Just goes through and sees a couple numbers there. Hans just taking a sip. Wow, does he actually have a... This is surprising. This is pretty sharp from Hans to even consider cubing on as an underdog, just with the shot and the swing on this and the gammons that he might win. Realizes that there's some upside in getting the cube in time. 5-2, not a good roll. We either have to crack our board some or just run off the anchor, and with the 5-point board threatening to be a perfect 6-point board against all the structural impurities Deniak has, feels happy to run off. Deniak forced to consider the cube again. A lot of swing on the next roll, and so we'd think it'd be thinking about this for money action for sure. But we want to get a bit closer to a pass at the score, it would seem. Correctly takes a roll. Nice find from him. Does he want to make the ace point to try to get the goalkeeper out of his hair? Other option is to make the pure point in the deuce and iron out distribution. 8-6 looks really nice as well. That's a difficult one. I think I might be tricked into his first instinct play. Feels like it breaks contact most effectively. But the 4-point board, I guess, is going to push Hans to step up pretty often anyway. Might be hard to make the deuce. Strange, yeah, I really like the looks of making the ace point. I'm not sure he's going to pass that up. Maybe it's just all tactics and going through the rolls and realizing how bad the distribution is with the 5 on the 8 and 3 on the 6. There must just be a lot of shot levers. Maybe bad 6s next roll, too. Yeah, Hans in the chat says it secures landing points for those 6s. Yeah, So making the deuce is pretty nice. That's a tricky one for me. We can see by the numbers that he should be a big favorite to have a cube next roll after this play, after either play, really. A lot more gammons with a 3-1, 2-1. Maybe that's the normal score play, and actually it's a score thing influencing trying to get to a cashable position. And yeah, anchoring high with this big of a deficit in the race seems like it's going to be easy cube coming, and maybe a decision for Hans, but usually the cube starts to play pretty normal in this resolved of a game. And likely to find a pass here, sizable. Some of the lower plies think there's a little bit more recube big in these, and plus plus figures it out a little bit better, but sizable pass. He's got something to think about at the score for sure, though. It's hard to estimate how much we should adjust to take advantage of a recube. I would be keeping it simple the way I described already, but I'm sure he feels pressure to go through that. And if he's trying to adjust, he might think this looks like a close-ish or maybe a clear money pass or something like that, but doesn't know exactly what those numbers look like, how far off it would be. As a Norwegian, I wouldn't expect a Danish take. I thought they were quite a bit different from one another. We'll see here, though. And he does... All right, correctly lets the cube go, and on to the next game we go. Four, 3, yeah, standard against those 6 splits. Split to the 21 and the 9. All options pretty close. This looks likely to make 2 points. And what has Denyek got now? Needs an anchor of his own and gets it. Which anchor, though? Okay, I would have assumed that we're coming out to the bar for the better one with the close racing lead. But instead, we do have an option to make the 21 and hide the blot to avoid being hit. Small racing deficit gives us a little more incentive to play safe to conserve what race we have, and we can afford the deeper anchor a little easier. But it also takes pressure off the stack on the 6 points by anchoring past it. Allows him to develop a little easier with 1s and 2s. So interesting tactics here that make these very close. 18-point anchor just in general much better. Why does it look like all the numbers on the best play are worse? It wins a few more gammons. That's a tough one. I think this is one where we should be tempted to make the 5-point and just leave a blot in place, but they're the wrong spares. Maybe making the 3 is better, maybe just... But we can also just prioritize our racing game plan and play down and put checkers in place with the 10-pip race. Interesting idea. 10 away, 2 away. I'd rather play something bolder. and goes for the board inside. Makes sense. 6-3 is going to make a point as well. Nice improvements for both. Threes can break some contacts. Make the... I guess we don't need to make the 5 with it when we're just trying to race, so we're just going to find safe places to land all our checkers and work on clearing. 5-2 going to start a point or come in. Okay. 4-2. No points we can clear, so sure. Oh, we should just go for... That's an interesting play. This is an opportunity to let go of the 15 with 4 is duplicated to cover. 6-3 going to make a point. Not going to have that opportunity anymore. Now the board's going to be too strong to volunteer in general. 3s buys a little more space. Probably gives up the 8 too. Just clears another point safely. And now we only have the single stack to work with. And we can kind of bring it in one checker at a time. Everything else looks too destructive for sure. 6-3, 4-1 is our alternative. Does not look good. And it's very close actually. Okay. So that's surprising to me that he wants to keep the 8 point to help him clear or something like this so much that he should consider this ugly play. Looks worse for the race and everything. This is very strange to me. I'm not sure what the merit of this one is. 4-2 could bring 2 in, or can slot the deuce either way. Buys him a little more time to wait, starts his board. Not that close of a race, so yeah, prioritizing making more points seems logical to me. They're tied. And now Hans with a 9 pip lead has to think about whether or not he risks losing his market enough to get in a cube before he loses his market. Right on the borderline, and pretty okay to send early ones against a 2-way score line, but a little bit early according to XG. Thank you for day 6 streaming. Yeah, we've been at this a while. A full week by the end of it. That's pretty exciting to me. Finishing up the second chance bracket today to determine our other finalists to play Sander in the World Championship Finals tomorrow. Correctly waits on the cube, brings the checker in nicely. Only 6 pips, so probably not going to change the action. 6 is going to change the action, though. No cube to think about now. He should just break more contact and play from the 13 instead, I do believe. Not too bad to go for this instead, though. With his 11 pip lead. Let's just race now. You're being commanded to smash the like button in the chat as well. Please do. I got my like in already. I do that before the stream even starts. I'm on top of things. Only 52 likes with 392 watching. We can do better than that. Correctly figures out that he's ahead in the race and makes the least contact play. And not enough of a lead to send the cube yet, but in a race it doesn't act too different. Again, he just wants to get to a place where his opponent can reasonably pass, so like in that 80% range most likely. Then still happy to claim. Hans can't adjust too much with no gammons present and things like that. Well, especially since he sends back a 4 cube and only gains getting to 6 away, 2 away. Doesn't win the match with his decision to play it out, so often will need to just accept the Crawford game as his best chances to getting to a win. Five, 4, not a bad racing number. Small lead for Hans. Zdeniak catching back up with the race. Could realize that he's down and hold off. Double five is going to change everything, though. How far ahead are we now? 13, so I think even a 2-1. No, 2-1's close. A 2-1, maybe we'll generate a cube. (6-4) though is going to keep him right in it, almost a tied race. Yeah, I'm surprised he's not doing something like trying to keep a running count and just reestablishing the difference each roll like this kind of. Feels like a lot of energy to me. 16 pips is going to be a lot to catch up with or keep up with for Hans. 3-1 doesn't look like enough. And where did we end up? Down 15 pips in a relatively short race is going to be way too much for Hans to deal with. He's going to double check his math real quick, and Steniak's going to successfully claim a point closer to winning. Go to Crawford. And at a 10 away, 1 away scoreline, that means that Hans will be willing to play Gammons, or for Gammon's next game, they're going to be worth something, get him a game closer to winning, so Zdeniak will have to defend that as well. Most likely case, and it's pretty frustrating to pass to the Crawford game like this. I think Hans knows he just needs to do it, but it can feel like your match equity is so low at 10 away, 1 away. Like, what are we passing for? Why don't we just try to get 4 back? But it's much worse to take your small 11% in here of gaining some than just playing it out from there. We'll see if he can make the decision he needs to make. He does.
The Backgammon Galaxy mobile app. Star membership, high analysis, blunder database, private games, coin games, rating games, and much, much more.
Sweet, that app looking like a lot of fun, and they're going to take a short break after arriving at Crawford here. And we'll be back with the conclusion to see if Hans can hang on here. Good time to check out the other side of the bracket here. Oh, it looks like they're playing on a Monte Carlo Grand Prix as well. Or are they watching the same game somehow? I think the scoreline's 10-1 over there as well. Weird symmetry. Maybe it's a good chance to see some more of those ads and stuff in the room. I can take a quick break here. 4%, not too much. %11% of 6 away, 2 away isn't so much either, though. 6 away, 2 away must be 11% or something like this. So maybe it's closer to 1% after taking. And so taking your 4% match winning chances from 10 away, 1 away is better. I think Carlsberg is the sponsor now. Sanders fighting for that for sure. What time is the next match? The decider of the second chance side of the bracket will be at 10 p.m. 10 p.m. local time. Oh, the other side of the stream B, will be a Super Jackpot semifinal match. Bill Ryle was telling me here. We'll watch both of those. Neil rooting for the board to get given to the winner. I think that's exactly what happens. I think the world champion takes home this nice Monte Carlo Grand Prix available in the Backgammon Galaxy shop with the 53rd Backgammon World Championship inlays. Really beautiful looking. Really nice combinations there. I like it a lot. What else we got? How many in the super jackpot to start? I'm not sure. Maybe 16? How many in the super jackpot to start?
Had a 64 tournament and a 30.
Oh, they had a 64-player super jackpot tournament and a 32, so pretty big event. You know who that is? Or? Yep. Big bracket. I don't know if we have the brackets in the video description here, but sounds like a very interesting event. Going to be hard to fit that into the mainstream, of course. Too much going on. Oh, cool. And I'm hearing that on the other stream, Bracconi just won his match, so he'll be one of the finalists coming up shortly at 10 p.m.
Okay.
Is Akiko really out of the main tournament? Yeah, she's around playing super jackpot matches and things like that, I think, as well. Nice to see her out at a tournament again. I think it's been a while since, I think this is her first since COVID started. Tight travel restrictions in Japan that I guess Mochi and Michi get around somehow, but protecting her own health too, you know? So it was good to catch up with her here. Maybe she's playing, I think there's a women's event of some sort going on today too. Probably in one or both of those. Are Ryan and Zdenek still in the running? Well, Zdenek's playing in this match right here in pretty good shape, leading 108, 1008 Crawford. Ryan is out of the main, but last I saw, he was winning matches in the super jackpot. He's having a great tournament, Ryan is. Made a deep run in the main, won the open. Maybe going to do something in the super jackpot too. We'll see. Had a really great stream match earlier this week too. One of the best I think he's had like live and recorded. What else we got? What other questions you guys got for me? Where did I get this shirt? A Facebook ad on the internet. Everyone that's worried and like creeped out by that, I'm always just amazed that like, where was I ever going to find this? And how did they know that like this shirt needed to go to the one person interested in it? I think that's amazing. From the 64 or 32, I presume the 64, but I'm not sure. Could be either. Why am I not playing? Because I'm here to do commentary. I got to play in the open. Went 3-2. That's right. Winner of this plays Bracconi this evening, and winner of that plays Sander tomorrow. Someday it'll be fun to play more tournaments again, but I really like doing these commentary gigs. So I focus on that. Thanks for watching, Marianne Meese. Ryan is out now? Okay. I didn't know that. ZZ Bracconi could be really fast. I haven't seen Bracconi play. He's a quick player. Yeah, maybe. 22 Central European time, I think so. Well, it's at 10 p.m. here in Monte Carlo, whichever time zone that is. I think for me, that is... Check my clock real quick. Yeah, so we're 7 hours ahead of Central Time in the U.S. Thanks, Astro. Thomas says we're CET, whatever that is. I believe you. Finals tomorrow. Yep. 7 hours, so it should be, 3 p.m. in Chicago is when it is. But it happens to be 7 hours different. I don't know where the 9 comes from. Carry the 1, yeah. How was the Zdeniak-Wilcox match? Really interesting. Went pretty quick. A little bit of inaccuracy with the cube that turned it into like an 8-cube decider at 7 away, 9 away. But yeah, so exciting finish to that one for sure. Tough luck for Will. And it came down to, can I roll a set or not to win? Good backgammon in that sense. Well, thanks for the comments or compliments on the commentary again. I love doing it. It's fun. Yeah, Bill and Tara have been doing a great job with this stream as well. Traveling with all the video equipment and everything like that. Wilson on the graphics. Justin Klester, I think, got us this XG overlay to match the board. Everything looking just so clean. And here we go, Crawford game. 5-3 to open for Hans. Small advantage. Zdeniak will split against this. Likes the 21 to avoid being attacked on the point that Hans likes the most, but 6-3 is going to hit anyway. Berto Gawi with us, great. 2-5 can't hit anything, so we're going to enter deep and avoid being attacked and play 13-8 along with. Seems fine. Oh, we started without a transcriber. Oops. I can help him catch up if I need to.
35. Yeah, 35. Hunts.
I'm not sure when my next commentary gig is. Been talking to the U.S. Whatever their Florida tournament in October is a possibility.
Normal.
If Arda ever wanted me to come help out with Cyprus, I'd be down for that too. I guess I'll be doing something with the UBC final at some point too. I'm not sure when that happens.
5-2.
How much does the winner get this year? I think we had the prizes last night. It's like 40% of the prize pool. Prize pool is large, 207 players times 800 each.
Okay.
I think both. Well, I think Sanders in the side pool. I'm not sure who else, but there's a big chunk of money there too. But I think it looked like for Sander, if he wanted, it would be around like 80,000 euros, something like this. I think he's already taken 31 for getting as far as he has. Yeah, the finals. I hope it lives up to how amazing that undefeated bracket match last night was. I really do. Sanders a showman, though. I'm sure he'll bring it. Seems like we just keep going 17-15 instead of introducing another blot. It's nice that it might cover the 9 point with the 6 as well. Not sure what the tactical merit he's finding of the 13-11 would be. More building. I don't understand the 8-6 either. I guess there's some 5 duplication. He's worried about opponents happy to hit loose on the ace anyway with the boardage, so wants to stay on only 1 hitting number. Very interesting. Bit of overly safe, I think, and Hans just happy to split out. 6-1, going to make the bar point on head. Very nice. Oh, it can link up with the 17, though, and that's actually really close. Nearly worth doing. To score again, just having an anchor is very worth a lot. This is... Oh, it can enter and hit. Okay. The natural thing I saw was that it makes the 20, but we have something a little better with the board advantage. Looking to win a gammon, and a fan is Tough news for Zdeněk. Now sixes hit another checker. 4 likely brings another into the zone for the blitz. And again, at an even away scoreline, Hans would love to win 2 points here. Another fan. Graphics guy is the same guy that does Galaxy graphics, Wilson. Any chance that prize pools reach levels of the early 70s? I don't know. I don't know what we have to do there. Probably sponsorship and things like that. But hopefully all this streaming stuff is another big piece of that. Just more people interested, right? That's how we get back to that. 2 enters, so 2 chances to make an anchor and save a lot of gammons, but under a lot of pressure. Yeah, I think making the deuce, it feels like a must. Oh, he sees that he can make the 5 point. Considers the loose hit, but even better than that is the deuce point in a blitz and hitting loose on the ace to prevent any anchors. Very thematic for a blitzing position here. Being hit with the ace isn't the end of our blitz necessarily, but our opponent anchoring there is. So really important to keep on the back foot. We've got 6s to cover. We've got 11 in the zone. Plenty of material to get this done. And 5-1 is a great response from Zdeněk to slow down that blitz. Now 2 good chances to anchor. What is this? 4-2 is going to continue with the hit on the 5. And the ace or 5. Pretty huge for Zdeněk here. And a fan. Lots of covers for Hans to make this nice pure 5 prime. And that's not one of them. 5 going to come around the bend to give 6s there. Oh, no, he can switch the hit. 5 to ace looks like nice tactics. But yeah, after that, the 16 to 11 is still quite strong. Get another checker involved in the blitz again. Oh, asking about rules about behavior and antics from the standard match last night. Yeah, I think if that was distracting your opponent, I don't know what the rule would be exactly, but I'm sure the tournament director would figure something out about that. Definitely Arta's priority. Great tournament director is comfort of the players. Wants everyone to have a good time here. This is going to switch to continue the blitz. And then what's our best ace with that after? We love where the checker on the 8 point's positioned. We love where the checker on the 11 is positioned. So maybe either stepping up 21 to 20, or we get to see some light with 23 to 22. Both seem fine. Really can't decide if he should bother continuing the blitz with 4 checkers back, though, and just goes for mobility instead. Decides it's time to switch off of that plan and try to win the race and get checkers around. So small miss from Hans there. 6-1, going to hit on the 5 for sure. The pure point he's going to go after. Makes another split. Maybe nice to have the 24 here. Not too far off, though. 22 to 21 can hop out with 5s and 6s, though, so that looks pretty nice. Another... What do we have for Zdeněk? A fan. And the blitzing prospect's looking good. Will he find the switch this time? Nothing really better to do. And sure enough, yeah, okay. Zdeněk needs 2s before Hans can bring all these checkers around to finish the blitz. He's going to have some time to do it, potentially. 4 is a little awkward. He's going to step up and get mobility first. Okay, I would have thought about maybe 13 to 5 or something like this as part of it, but XG agrees. Much better to get checkers past the structure. 5-3. Really want to get to the 8 somehow, so I kind of like 16 to 8 for that. Yep. Direct 6 aiming at that deuce point for if Zdeněk enters. We would be happy to even make it. 6-2, sure. Maybe the diversification playing to the 7's a little better. That's fine. 16 to 8 should be a candidate as well. 2 enters, and Hans needs to hit to continue his attack. 6-6 going to work perfect. But I'll just right to close out with the 6s, and then we're going to move from the back somehow. Yeah, lots of people impressed with Will's play over the weekend. We've known he's one of the best for a while. It's the first matches of his I've gotten to commentate, and sure enough, plays lights out. He'll be around. Always has conflicts during UBC season, so I wish we could get him involved in that somehow. But maybe someday. Would love to see it. And so gammons are a bummer for Zdeniak, but the backgammon, not too bad. He happens to risk that. So Hans is going to play fairly safe to try to win the gammon. Should have actually cleared the 5 there. Zdeniak in with another, so not likely to necessarily be there for the shot should Hans leave it. But if he can fan, and he doesn't, his 6 is enough to start saving gammons. Maybe he doesn't have so many pips outside. Yeah, not quite enough. Still a huge underdog. Gonna need a few more sets to do it. 13 crossovers to 9. 2 less now. And they're big crossovers. Maybe more. Maybe I counted that wrong. And is that it? Zdeniak.
The Backgammon Galaxy mobile app. Star membership, high analysis, blunder database, private games, coin games, rating games, and much more.
Zdeniak lets go of that game, the gammon. We're at 8 away, 1 away post Crawford, which means this is going to be a free drop score. Han's going to play 2 down to go for gammons, and we'll send the cube at first chance. Does Zdeniak have an advantage with the racing lead here, or should he let this go? This is a little bit tricky. So doesn't have the advantage. Usually we only want to take with that. The reason we'll take as a slight underdog is to avoid giving up our free drop for a position where he might be in more of a disadvantage later in the match. But decides to use it now. Small technical take, but hard to fault that. Ends up with the opening roll instead, which should be a much easier cube to take, of course, and Han's not going to mess around with the trick, waiting to see if he can lose his market. Just going to get the cube in. Zdeniak with a take all the time here. Boars is going to make the 5 point. Strong shot for him. Wants to anchor up, though, to avoid gammons and losing an extra game of ground, I guess, on Hans. Double 5s is probably going to fight for freedom just coming around. Yeah, last 5, nothing better. And running low on timing. Needs to make a board point with those stacks or just escape from the back. Hans unable to cover the blot on the 4, so 3s to hit would be nice for Zdeniak. And Zdeniak already forced to volunteer here. Duplicates 2s that cover from the 6 point. Kind of nice, and starts a point that he'd like to make. Hans unable to hit it. 5-1, likely to just play to the 7. No reason to split into that mountain of checkers there. He's got plenty of time, a nice priming structure. Needs to sit on that and wait. 1-2, I think stronger to hit and make a bid for escape. We do have a very nice plan B in covering or even making the 4 point and staying pure. Lots of nice options here. Just feels like making the 4 point is going to be such a big improvement for Hans's plan of priming, and he has time to deal with this position afterward, that I'm afraid to let him do that, and I'm just going to hit anyway, even though I might be hit back. Now I have mobility. Now I'm not primed with that 1 checker. Something of a free roll where either one pecker, worst case, he gets hit and has to enter deep on the 24 and has a checker primed again. And turns into an attack for Hans now with another back. Two 5. Yeah, we enter high so we can cover. Not sure what we'd have chose if there was no different otherwise, but most likely going to be hit loose on this point now and needs to perform to avoid being attacked for a lot of gammons here. 5 up, strong. Gets it to land. Second hit is going to just decide the game so often that we go for it. Most likely, Hans enters with 1 at best. And Zdeněk rolling home with a huge lead in this game now. We're going to cover for sure, and sure, just shuffle around in the board. All our other points are working for us, so we'll keep them in place. 5-6 fan. Zdeněk, I guess just getting by is probably better even than hitting that blot on the 16. All we need to do is win. So, yeah, we can play 13 to 10 to try to make the bar, something like this, or to the 12. Both look nice for distribution. This gets a little closer to home with 1 checker. Making the deuce point would be a huge improvement, and he does it with double 2s. Last 2. Another one closer to getting into the board. This is post Crawford, someone asking. Yes. Who's... Whoa. Daniel Rivera assuming that Zdeněk's going to advance. Huge favorite to do so. But we haven't decided yet. Whoever wins this match will play Bracconi on the other side of the bracket. And that'll be at 10 p.m. in Monte Carlo time. Equity until the end, indeed. 3-1, just trying to... Can't volunteer shots on the... We want to get off 6s somehow, so this 6-3 actually looks very nice for that. Its first instinct is 6-5 to keep him on high points, but we sort of work towards that nice mountain structure of spares flattened across the whole structure by playing 6-3 instead. Feels a little intuitive though, understandable miss. And so now we can play 8-6 and 5-3 with 2 of them. Looks very nice. And somehow that's not the... Okay. What is 10-9, 5-4, 5-3? Pretty clear, another rear point. Okay. Getting him off the high points. Can see some logic to that. Make sure no major anti-jokers. Our 6s and 5s are playing fine from there. 5s leave a shot if we don't shift 10-9. So maybe that's why we can't play 5-3 there. Close though. Ace 5, okay. Hans is going to need some 6s out before he cracks his board. Zdeněk just trying to get in 2 to the 3 and then 1 off, right? Or is 5-2 safer? No, that leaves double shot, so I think we're going to peel 1. Yep. And this looks like a very nice mountain structure, as Michi would say. 2-1 fills in the next most important point for Hans. Probably better than rolling a 6, but needs 1 soon. 6s and 5s out now. Zdeněk's already clearing. 5 out, and 2 covers the rear of the prime. What is this 4-2? I don't know what XG is coming up with sometimes in the end games here. Strange plays. Double 5s, huge shot for Zdeněk. Okay. Running out of lives for Hans here. 5-1. Don't necessarily need to roll home the prime, but sure, okay. Goes for the 7-2. I would have thought about taking out another checker, so we're ready to split off the 24 when we get down to our last chance of our opponent rolling an ace. Three, 1. Not much else to do with that. Yeah, sharp looking match here. 4s, okay. Last chance. Under a 2 for Zdeněk. Very nice. And a deuce is going to help a lot, but far from winning the match. So I think he's going to stay right there and keep aces and deuces blocked. Hope to get another shot. Zdeněk 1-4, okay. So he needs to... Well, he doesn't need to block the ace, but not really... Okay, he should come off the 24. Not a lot of difference. Blocks double aces at least for 1 more roll. And 6-1, okay, last chance. Even when hit, not a lot of winning chances from here. And misses it. That's going to do it. Forced off the anchor as well, so everything will get off for Zdeněk. And there you go. The kid moving on to the finals of the second chance side of the bracket. Going to play Bracconi at 10 p.m. Great run for him, exciting, and playing his A game in that match for sure. Hans Leby playing pretty sharp too. Got the tough end of the dice. End of a nice run for him. I think everyone's in the money now, so nice results for everyone. But yeah, I can't wait for more action tonight. Nice run, Hans. Yeah, I think that'll be all for now. Kind of quiet. The matches feel so quiet and uneventful after last night. But we're going to wrap up the broadcast. Be back at 10 p.m. with more. Take a quick dinner break for us. Thanks for joining us. And see you soon for more.